Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Good afternoon. Here is the national news from BGI TV Current. I am Moriwe Rabila Lawal. First are the major headlines. PDP's LAWAL defeats MATAWALLE in Zamfara. EFCC arrests NCAA director, 2 officials over alleged 2 billion naira duty allowance fraud. FG arraigns Tukur Mamu, ex-terrorist negotiator, on 10 counts. Going on, DSS arrests Kiki Oshibajo's trainer inside Kriekuri prison in Lagos. Ondo grandmother set son, daughter-in-law, children, grandchildren ablaze. And on sports, Super Eagles camp bubbles with 18 players, 5 more expected. Now the news in detail. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has announced DAUDA LAWAL of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) as the governor-elect of Zamfara State. LAWAL was announced as the winner in Gusau, the state capital, in the early hours of Tuesday. According to INEC, he polled a total of 377,726 votes to defeat BELLO MATAWALLE of the All Progressive Congress (APC), who scored 311,976. The declaration came amid some mild drama over the presentation of the results for Maradun local government area. Recall that the collation officer for Maradun local government area, LGA Ahmed Kainua, was said to have been abducted on Monday. However, Kainua later resurfaced a state collation center at the INEC headquarters in Gusau. Going on to the next story. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) has arrested 4 top officials of the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority (NCAA). They were taken into custody over alleged 2 billion naira duty allowance toll DTA fraud, according to PR Nigeria. The suspects are Bilkisu Adamu Sani, Director of Finance and Accounts; Af Benson Femine, Deputy General Manager, Treasury. Others include Obenne Jemba Rimemi Tunel, Deputy General Manager, Management Account, and Nathaniel Tano Kenjo, General Manager, Account and Stores. Nathaniel was arrested on Thursday, March 16th, while other officials were picked up on Monday, March 20th. A team of EFCC investigators are questioning them at the Commission's headquarters in Abuja, the nation's capital. NCAA, the regulatory body for the aviation in Nigeria, ensures safety of the sector and carries out oversight of airports, airspace, and meteorological services. Moving on to the next story. The federal government will today arraign Mr. Tukur Mamu, ex-terrorist negotiator, on a 10-count charge bordering on terrorism financing, among others. Mamu, who will be arraigned by the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation (AGF) on behalf of the FG, will be arraigned before Justice Inyang Eko of the Federal High Court, Abuja. Reports claim that Justice Inkeonye Maha of the Sister Court had on September 13, 2022, given the Department of State Services (DSS) a go-ahead to detain the former terrorist negotiator for 60 days to enable it to conclude its investigation to Mamu, who led the negotiation with the terrorists for the release of the Abuja-Kaduna train passengers kidnapped in March 2022. The charge was signed by the Director of Public Prosecution of the Federation, Mr. M.B. Abubakar. Going on to the next story from Lagos State. The Department of State Services (DSS) has apprehended an inmate described as a slim young man after a major operation at the Kirikiri prison in Apapa, Lagos. Information exclusively reported how a large number of officers stormed the penitentiary last week in search of the fellow threatening one of the Vice President Yemi Oshibajo's daughters. It was learned Monday night that the VP's second daughter, Kiki, an entrepreneur, was a target of a serious threat to life. The extent is still unknown, with the Secret Service remaining silent. DSS agents arrived at the prison on Sunday, March 12th, and completed the mission after a 72-hour presence, which saw staff and visitors face additional scrutiny before entry and exit. It was gathered that a unit of operatives routinely moved around the premises in the communication command vehicle while the rest stayed outside. Sources revealed that after days of tactics and intelligence gathering that involved the questioning of the culprit's father, the operatives succeeded in locating him. Moving on to the next story, Ondo State. A 72-year-old grandmother, Iforiti Oloro, has allegedly set her son, daughter-in-law, and grandchildren blaze in Ondo, People's Gazette learned on Tuesday. The tragedy occurred at Akpom, a suburb of Akure, Ondo's capital city, at the weekend. The septuagenarian living in the same compound with her son was accused of having woken up in the middle of the night and allegedly set the house on fire while the family was asleep. A resident in the community, Bayo Adeboyega, who spoke to the Gazette, confirmed the incident. Mr. Adeboyega explained that the resident noticed the family's house was on fire on Saturday. Mr. Adeboyega added, sadly, by the time we entered, the man, Victor Oloro, his wife, Rachel, and 2 children, Tuluwani and Blessing, had been affected by the fire. To complete the national news from BGI TV Current this hour is a sports story. Terry Murphy, Calvin Bassey, and Victor Sochima have arrived at the Super Eagles John Wood Hotel camp in Abuja. The trio's arrival increased the number of players in camp to 18. 5 players, including Napoli forward Victor Osimhen and Porto defender Seydou Sanusi, are still being expected in camp. The quintet are expected to link up with their teammates before Tuesday's today training session at the Moshood Abiola International Stadium, Abuja. The training session, which will last for an hour, will start by 7 p.m. at the evening time. Only the first 15 minutes of the session will be open to the media, says the source from the team's camp. That ends the national news this hour. Before we go, some major headlines were brought to you. PDP's LAWAL defeats the incumbent governor of Zamfara State, Bello Matawalle. EFCC arrests NCAA directors, other officials over alleged 2 billion naira duty allowance fraud. FG arraigns Tukur Mamu, ex-terrorist negotiator, on 10-count charges. Also, DSS arrests Kiki's Oshibadu's threatener inside Kirikiri prison in Lagos. We're also brought to you on sports. Super Eagles camp bubbles with 18 players, 5 more expected. For more updates of our broadcast on our YouTube, the handle is BGI TV Current. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell. Select option all to access our broadcast. For advert placement of your goods and services, coverage of events and functions, please dial the phone number streaming on the screen for advert placement only. No person's sweat is worth bringing out unnecessarily. Do unto others what you would take when done unto you. I am Morire Rebila Lawal. Good afternoon.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.